welcome to our channel again. During this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a coin pouch that you can put coins, money, and some cards in. This is going to be a great thing that you want to use when you're on the go and you don't want to bring your huge wallet with you. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so here's the supplies that you'll need. You're going to need a cutting board or a type of surface that you can cut on. And you're going to definitely need your duct tape. I would recommend using the Duct brand. I've used the Scotch brand before, and out of my experience, my projects usually fall apart a lot faster than when I use the duct tape brand. So I would definitely recommend this. You can buy these at Michael's or sometimes Vaughn's too. Practically a lot of just general stores you can buy duct tape at. You're going to need a ruler, an Exacto Blade, or you can use a crafting scissor. These I actually got from Michael's, so this is going to be the Exacto Blade. This is a lot more sharp, and I wouldn't recommend this if you're young and you're kind of uneasy with sharp objects. So if you feel uncomfortable with that, definitely get the crafting scissor instead. You're going to need a pen, and that's about it. So you're going to grab your duct tape, and we're going to be making duct tape fabric. And what that is basically 2 duct tapes put together so that no sides are sticky. So you're going to lay that down, and for this one we're going to be making a pouch that is 5 by 3 inches. And you're going to need to make about 3 of these fabrics, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So first you're going to measure 5 inches. You're going to actually want it to be a little bit more than that so you can cut away extra edges that you might mess up. So you're going to grab your pen, and for this case I'm going to be measuring 5.5 inches, and I'm going to be marking it over here. And then again, well actually, yeah, 5.5 inches, marking it over here, drawing a line so that you can cut a straight edge. It should come off like that if you're going to be using an Exacto knife. And again, since I am matching my pattern, mine might be a little bit different from yours, so I'm going to match that. And we already know this first one is 5.5 inches, so I'm going to just align my ruler to that and cut that. And we're going to have something like that. I already pre-cut this one out, and this one is 5.5 inches. And since I am matching the pattern, I'm going to put the first duct tape I put down on the bottom and the second duct tape I put down on the top. Normally, that makes it easier to match your pattern, and as you can see, you can kind of see that it's a little bit easier to match that. Just as a tip if you are using a pattern duct tape. And I'm going to align my ruler, and since I know this is 5.5 inches at least, I'm going to use that and cut that there. And always, review your work. Don't just go on to the next step. I like to look at it like, for example, this pattern isn't completely perfect, and I'm kind of perfectionist, so I might change that. Check for air bubbles and straighten it out so that things match. There we go. So now you should have 2 stickies like that. And they should at least be 5 inches and 3 inches. So 5 inches should at least fit in somehow on this side, and 3 inches should at least fit in somehow on that side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up one of them by the first duct tape we put down. So when you pull it up, you should put them all up together like that. I'm going to put the first one you put face down. Make sure the edges aren't too curled up, because that'll happen sometimes if you pull too hard. Again, pull by the first duct tape you put down. And you're going to want to put them right on top of each other. Be careful of air bubbles, so how I normally avoid that is I kind of put my pinkies down and I start from one side. So for example, I'll sticky this side down first and press it that way. Normally it's better to start the sticky down side towards you, so I'm going to show you how that looks like. I hold this one down with my fingers, and I use my thumbs and upper fingers to hold this and secure it. And I press it right on there like that. And I sticky that side. So it should look something like that to you. And then I kind of push this down and I kind of push it away towards one direction so you don't get air bubbles. You always want to press towards the edges, because if you start pressing and sticking them towards the center, you'll end up with air bubbles in the middle. So yeah, now you should have something that looks like this. Now we're gonna mark the 5 inches by 3 inches. So I'm gonna start lengthwise first. I'm gonna get 5 inches, make sure that it'll fit in there nicely. So see, I'll see that 5, it'll give me some room on this side. You don't want to mark here so that you're going to end up with an empty space that you needed, so make sure that's in the center, as centered as possible. So I'm going to mark that. I'm going to use the tip of my ruler to line up against the side of the tape, because this is definitely a straight line. It was pre-made. That's where my marking was, and make a straight line down. Same thing on this side. Hope you guys can see that. That's where my marking was. And straight down. So now it should look like that. And how I did it was I lined up my ruler right against the side so that it makes a perpendicular, you can see that perpendicular line right there. So you know that this is straight for sure and it's not going to come out crooked. So next we're going to measure along this side the 3 inches. And again, make it as centered as possible. So here's the beginning and here's the end of the 3 inches. Gonna make that mark. Doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm doing it. You can find out what way works best for you. Again, I'm lining this against this side over here. And here's my mark here, and I'm gonna draw that line up. And same thing on this side. Here's my mark here, and drawing that way. Like that. So now you're going to cut away the excess according to those lines. So I'm going to do that. Using an Exacto Blade is really nice, because sometimes the crafting scissors, the stickiness from the duct tape gets on it and it's hard to cut. But again, if you do feel uncomfortable with using a blade that's this sharp, I would recommend using just the crafting scissors. You know, practice makes perfect. And you can always ask your parents to help you, or other people that feel more comfortable with using knives. There we go. And I already actually pre-made 3 of them, so that's what you're going to need. 1, 2, and 3. And they all are by, hope you guys can see my ruler because it is see-through, 3 by 5 inches. And it's okay if they're not completely perfect. That's fine. So you're going to get 2 of these. Figure out which size you want it to be on the outside. So I like this pattern better. I feel like it looks nicer. I'm going to put them together like that. Make sure that, you know, figure out which side you want the bottom and the top to be. So for me, I'm going to make this the top and this the bottom. So first thing you're going to do, again, go grab your duct tape. Lay it out. And you want it to be as long as this. So again, 5 inches actually. So I'm going to measure the 5 inches. And it's actually better to even have excess if you want. That's completely fine too. You can do 5.5 inches again. I'm going to cut this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to measure this and cut it in half. So normally how I do that is I get this and it's about a little under 2 inches. So I just center the one as best as I can, because you'll see there's like barely like a little millimeter sticking out. I'm going to get that. It doesn't have to be perfect, that's okay. And then I'm going to align this, my ruler, like I've been showing you guys, to make sure that it is a straight line. I'm going to cut that across. So it looks like that. So now you know that these are going to be your outsides. You're going to open it, take one of these out, and what I do so that you can put a little bit more stuff in this pouch is I spread it apart a little bit like that. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to sticky it as best as you can and as straight as you can. So see, I already got crooked, so I have to do it again. Actually, I'm just going to do one side first. Like that. So it should look like that. I'll flip it over. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that there's like a little extra indent right here. And you'll see the reason why I'm doing that. We're going to grab the other one. And again, these are my outsides. They're going to be the outside sides. That makes sense. Gonna put it on top. This is tricky because once you put that second one on top, it's going to be hard to take it out. So make sure that that part is perfect as you can make it. So the reason why I made that little indent is so that it can bend easier and that it'll be able to hold better. So that when you put stuff in, you have more than if it was just going to be the edges closest to each other. Okay? Gonna get your duct tape again. And you're going to do the same thing. 5 inches. Going to cut it in half. Hot dog style. And just leave it like that for now. You're going to grab your third duct tape fabric, like that. You're going to fold it in half. Oh, what's this? Oh, sorry, that was just like extra stuff. Okay. You're going to fold it in half. Don't make this edge too folded because it is going to fold back out. I'm going to grab my pen. And what I'm going to do is you're going to kind of want like a little tongue shape, which is going to be the top flap like this. And I'll show you how that looks like. I'll start here. And go up in this way. Like that. So it should look like that. Make sure that you get as close to the corner as you can. You don't want your line to be too inwards over here, else it'll be a little bit messed up. So you want to make it as close to this corner as you can. You're going to grab your scissor, and if you're just using crafting knife, a regular scissor will work for this too. And you're going to cut along the line. Make sure that you're holding the two ends together as close as you want because you want the both sides to be symmetrical. So you should have something that looks like this. Like that. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to grab this, open it up, and again this is the outside parts. Grab one of these. And you're going to line it up like that. And again, same thing I did. Left a little space. Like that. And I'm going to cut away the excess stuff right here so you have a fluid line. So now it's going to look kind of like that. Okay, now we need to, same thing we did here, we're going to actually do this right here. Grab your duct tape again. And remember the side is 3 inches. You're going to measure 3 inches. Or a little over. I'm going to do a little over. Cut that in half. Grab your thing. Put it like that. And see how this is, there's a little extra? I'm going to cut that off. Along the top. So it looks like that, like a straight line. Fold this over. Make sure that it's flat and over like that. Same thing to the other side. Over. Like that. So look, you have something that looks like that, right? And you see that excess? You can just cut that right off. So you can really see how this pouch is coming together. Like that. So you made this little pocket. So now the last thing you gotta do is make a buckle so that you can tuck this tongue in. So how you're gonna do that is, I hope you saved this. You're gonna need this. Sorry to say, I forgot to say it earlier, because you're gonna need a little strip from this, from the fabric. So from this, what I normally do is make sure that, I would say this length, keep. So I'm going to cut this right here. You're just going to grab your scissors and cut a thin line. So it should look like a thin rectangle like that, really thin. Grab your duct tape. You're going to want it to be 3 inches. Oops, it's supposed to be over here. It's okay. And like I said, cutting longer is better. And then cut that in half. Take that out. So this is also a little tricky part. You could just make this without this top part, but I think it looks prettier with it. You're gonna put this down. Put this over it like this, so that you see how it'll be a little place for you to input that little tongue there. So once you know the placement of that, right, I'm gonna grab one of these, and how I do this is I hold this down. I start at the bottom here. You don't want this side to be too close to this tongue. You want it to be a little bit farther away. Oops. Gotta start over again. Like that. I hope you guys can see it. And you're gonna make it like that. There. So it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Start there. And like that. And any excess you can always, you know, go to the other. So now we have this little area that we can tuck in the tongue. Oops, like that. So now you have a pouch that you can put your coins in, your cards in, and your money in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to make this duct tape little project. Don't forget to check out Lauren's recent video on the holiday popcorn ideas. They're really, really good, and you guys should definitely check them out. If you have any questions or would like any tips, feel free to comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great day. This pattern is really good, actually. I know what you think.